Skip and Shannon react to Steph Curry only two three-pointers away from breaking the all-time record of Ray Allen.
Because anytime you're going for a record of this magnitude, Skip, the team don't want to be the team that you break it again. Because guess what? Remember that 81-point game? Guess what? We see that time from time to time on Hardwood Classic. Toronto is in that clip, and they're there for perpetuity. With Jordan, these historic games that Jordan had, Skip, I don't want to be on that team. And so teams like, look, well, you know what? Draymond can hit 5 threes. Andrew Wiggins can hit 10. Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, you're not getting no easy threes. And they made it. They've gone out of their way.
Same thing with me when I actually play. Like no one ever lets me. I would say they always leave other guys open. They make it. Hey, it works. I don't really care if I do
Sure.
good or not as long as I win.
They picking him up. Skip, I remember a couple of years ago, Bradley Beal had like 2 or 3 games straight where he'd gone for 50. And then Memphis says, you're not getting 50 on us. You know why we're not gonna let you get 50? Because we're gonna double team you in the backcourt to make you give the ball up. You're not gonna continue to streak on us. And that's what we're starting to see. I think Steph also put more pressure on himself than what needed to be, Skip, because he's like, hey, 16 Steph, you're 16 threes away. What do you think? Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened. And teams like, hold on. I think you about to get 16 threes against us.
I agree with that.
Man, you out your mind,
That was
Steph.
Portland.
I know you, and you see the way they guard him, Skip. We know you're the greatest shooter, the greatest distance shooter of all time. But we're not going to give you that. Plus, to get 16 threes, Skip, to make 16, you're going to have to take about 30. And that's 50 plus percent. Now, even though Skip is doing this during the last 7 games, he's shooting 35% from three. He's still making 5 threes a game. If he was probably shooting his career average somewhere around 43%, but that was a lot of pressure that he heaped on himself. And the teams do not want to be the team that Steph Curry breaks this record again. Indiana said, it's on you, man. It's on you, Knicks. He come to your building where he likes to play. He had his coming out party against you guys, 54. So, unfortunately, I believe the Knicks are going to have to be the torchbearer, Skip, that he breaks this record against. But I just thought, Skip, he added
I
a lot
think
of
you will.
pressure, a lot of undue pressure. But just the mere fact that he had us convinced that he could possibly make 16 threes goes to show you his
I
greatness.
think if he
And he
tried, he
backed
could
him
have.
up. Just imagine, well, Tom Brady in the last game, Tom Brady needs 600 yards
If he didn't care
to
about
make
his
it to
team
the
at winning or
playoffs.
not, it's like, hey, you know what? I don't care about this game.
600? We can see if you said 405, 450. That's doable. 600? Nobody's ever done 600 before.
Yep.
The mere fact that Steph had us thinking that he could possibly get 16 threes in the game
He can.
goes to show you his level of greatness. But I just think, Skip, he added pressure that really didn't need to be there. And teams like, not on my watch. You ain't breaking that record on me. On us.
So, to their credit, as you noted, both Steph and Steve Kerr at the shoot around yesterday in Indiana ahead of last night's game readily admitted they messed up. They should not have acknowledged publicly that, yeah, we could do this at home because it was their last home game before a trip.
Right.
And it's just so disrespectful to Portland to say, yeah, I can make 16 threes tonight. Well, yeah, that would break the all-time record for a single game. So it's, even for Steph Curry, by far the greatest shooter we've ever seen. It's not even close to me, and I love
Though
him.
I would say
On
it's
volume,
Curry than me.
it's just
You know.
impossible, but this
Volume and distance,
man
it's not even
has
close.
done. It's not even close. So I'm giving you all that, but for even Steve Kerr to go along and validate the idea, sure, he could break it at home tonight. Like they acknowledged that it was realistic that he could make 16 threes.
Good shot.
You'd have to shoot.
I did that same play yesterday night.
Unless you're just completely out of your mind.
Actually.
Like we've seen Clay be on his stage, right?
Yes.
So the point was they backed off. And then to Rick Carlisle's credit last night, I watched this whole game because I'm fascinated by the pressure that builds to do this because it's not as hard as hitting a home run on cue to break a record. That's really hard.
Yes.
But this is hard because we have seen the greatest of three-point shooters just go cold. It's far. It's
Even me.
up to 23
Rarely. 1 out of 50 games.
shots and the top of the circle shot. It's far, and we've seen LeBron. You can fall in love, and you might have a hot hand to make 5 out of 6, and then you know what can happen.
And it's not like he's shooting a free throw, Skip. Guys, he's running off picks, and guys are running at him. They're fighting over the guys are fighting harder to get over that pick.
Yo, it literally sounds like they're talking about me.
Not let him get that easy three.
So Rick Carlisle could have come into the game and just said, no, we're not going to allow you to even have a shot here.
Right.
That they could double him and just try to get the ball out of his hands every possession. They did not play it that way.
No.
Brogdon took him a lot, and then if they got the switch, Sabonis had to guard him a lot. And they tried hard, but they didn't trick it up.
Right.
They didn't go junk defense on him. They didn't box and one or triangle and two.
No.
They just played it straight up.
They played their game.
If you get it, you get it.
Right.
And I'm going to say, of the 10 he missed last night, I'm going to say 5 were what I would call for him wide open threes.
Yes.
And he just missed them.
Yes.
Because it's hard. And he said it's not about the stress or the pressure.
Even for him.
I'm sorry, it just is. It's building and building, because I look at these last 3 games. He's 30% from 3 over the last 3 games.
Yeah.
30%?
Yeah, that's not.
Well, this is not Steph Curry to be 30%. And look at the misses. It start with that Portland game. He was 6 for 17. Well, that means he missed 11. Then at Philly, he missed 11. And last night he missed 10. He's averaged missing 11 threes a night over the last.
That's 10 threes.
Well, that's
10 and a half.
Bad, and a lot of times it will lose the basketball game for you. And to their credit, Steph actually made one with about a minute left last night. That was a big one that cut it back to 2.
Right.
Then he missed a big one, and Looney got some wild offensive rebound put back, and it was like, thank you, God.
Right.
And they won.
No, he saw what I do when I shoot a 3. I make sure that my guy can get a rebound who's underneath the basket. So that's literally what he did. He looked at it, he saw Looney, so he was like, you know what, I can shoot a 3 here. Then he saw Looney was in a good position to get the rebound.
The game, and I am highly impressed they won the game.
Yes.
I'm not.
I also think the basketball.
They're the best team in the NBA.
Here, because there's something about that building up in New York City. It is the mecca of basketball.
I've been there actually one time.
Ordained that Steph would go to New York to break the record, and this is where I pity the New York Knicks, because their franchise has degenerated into they have the greatest building in basketball.
The Mecca.
It is the mecca, and yet the Knicks fans are now forced to go. I know the Knicks have been, they've shown some signs of hope, and then they kind of fall back to the average at best. And this year they got off to a hot start, and now they look like they're pretty mediocre.
Right. I think the thing is, Skip, is that it's been a long time since they really. If you go back to it, you go back to Patrick Ewing. But when you talk about a bona fide guys that can put the ball in the bucket, like the Steph Currys and the Durants and the LeBrons and James Harden and the Kobe's and the Jordans that came back with Bernard King. Man, you remember Bird Dog? Bird Dog used to go get 50 at a drop of a hat.
Remember, I saw him in college because they were our arch rival. And I was there. Bernie and Ernie show.
Right.
Ernie Grunfeld.
Ernie Grunfeld.
Yes.
So, Skip, I think the thing is that they're like, well, hell, we ain't got nobody like that. We might as well just cheer for them. So Kobe and the Jordans and the LeBrons, the KDs, they get the adulation. And, they had a good team back in the 90s when they were competing for titles, battling with the Bulls. And they, Skip, maybe without the Bulls, who knows? Maybe they get one that year. But they haven't had a Steph Curry. When you really look at it, have they ever had a Steph Curry? Have they ever had that kind of A-tier, top-level talent? Guy like, I'm talking about superstar. Okay, Pearl Monroe, maybe back then. Yeah, and Clyde Frazier,
but not to this magnitude.
Yeah, and so now, Steph, I'm relegated to like, well, damn, this is what y'all reduced me to? Let's go, Steph. They don't stop the game.
And they should. And I think it'll happen fast tonight, because now you're back in a comfort.
First minute of the game.
This is where you're supposed to do this.
Right.
This is where Jordan did it. This is where Bird did it. This is where everybody did it.
I don't even know the name of the building in Indy anymore. But come on, Skip. You don't
They renamed it.
Yeah, it was the Canseco Fieldhouse or whatever it was. But now, Skip, the Garden. If I can't do it in my building, I need to do it in an iconic building. I need to do it in Madison Square Garden. I need to do it in Staples. I need to do it where somebody's good forever. Man, you remember in Staples? You remember, like Kobe, I don't know if 81 is 81. But if he does that in a building that's not Staples, or the Boston Garden, or Madison Square Garden, Skip, there's something Jordan 63, Skip, he lost, but what did it happen at? The Garden.
And he came back with a double nickel game at the Garden. It's just what happened. It's what's supposed to
I think
be.
you missed that three on purpose at the end.
Record for 3-pointers made in one game at the Garden. Steph Curry, and it was all the way back on February 27th of 2013.
That was just coming out back. Was that when he had 54 in?
He went 11 of 13. I can't remember what his total was. I think it was 11 of 13 from three. Okay, that's about as great as you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's why the 16 was completely unrealistic.
You think so, Skip?
Well, 16?
With 16, when he was 11 to 13.
It's not unrealistic at all.
He only missed 2 out of 13. He shoot the ball 8, 9 more times.
Okay,
I made,
from the three-point line.
I can make 10 threes in a row.
Oh, yeah.
If I am fully warmed up and everything, I believe I can.
Because people are guarding you. You're not just playing horse.
And if I played basketball every single day for a long time, as much as he did, definitely 100 threes is not out of the question.
Unguarded in a practice 102 in a row.
But Skip,
I still find hard to
we
believe.
watched him in the three-point competition get hot and then run 3 racks in a row. So we know he's capable, but like you said, there's no one guarding it.
I also saw him in the three-point competition when the game was in Charlotte back in his hometown.
Yeah, he lost to Joe Harris.
He lost to Joe Harris in the last racks. I mean, the last time around, the last competition, he didn't do very well.
Right.
We have seen him come apart from three in big playoff moments, games 5, 6, and 7 of 2016 against your Cavaliers. And then in 2019, he missed the game winner in game 6 that could have forced the game 7. Again, they had just gotten wrapped.
I will say one thing: I'm a little bit more clutch than him. Because most of my shots are like at a crucial parts of the time.
I think he's a great player, and I think he can be a clutch player more from 2 because the best shot.
Yeah, I'm more clutch from 3.
Yeah. Oh, that's scoop him.
Yeah, I mean, well, that one, and then another one, he made just a driving layup where he just beat the defender to the glass.
But the teams, I can see that those twos don't go against the record.
Alright, that's it for everybody. Thank you for watching.
Drive the ball and lay it off the glass, and you get
Once this ends, about
the left hand and do all that other stuff.
10 seconds.